Center stage in Philadelphia is the Spectrum. Good evening, everybody. I'm Brent Musburger along with Rick Barry and Sonny Hill. And Rick, here we go.
Yes, sir, Brent. Portland did what they had to do back in Portland. They regained their confidence. They played with poise. They ran their offense well, put pressure on, got the ball off the floor. Now all the pressure's back on Philadelphia.
Sonny?
Rick brought out a very good point in Game 3 out in Portland about confidence. The situation switches here. The Sixers are going to have to come out and play well early in the ball game to reestablish their confidence. It's a must-win for the Philadelphia 76ers. They feel they have to go back to Portland. They cannot win out in Portland. And defense is the thing that helped the Sixers in the first 2 games here. They're going to have to play that defense so they can create their own offense.
Sonny, our starting lineups. Irving, McGinnis, Jones, Bibby, Collins against Hollins, Davis, Walton, Gross, and Lucas. No changes. George McGinnis had a long meeting with Coach Gene Shue. Shue is elected to go with him. You know the story there. Mired in a slump. Going to go to Philadelphia.
Bill Walton a little over anxious. Got that ball before the first opportunity to score here, and they need this basket badly, as Sonny mentioned, to establish themselves quickly in this game.
Garrettson and Strom working at Collins.
Doug Collins, who had a bad fourth game back there in Portland, off to a good start now.
Collins goes down. The ball held by Maurice Lucas. Johnny Davis is 16. Irving on Gross. And a foul inside on Doug Collins, who can't believe it.
That's one man they don't want to get in foul trouble, Brent. They need him badly.
Bibby is with Collins. Caldwell Jones on Walton. Gross shoots up over Irving to tie it.
Bob Gross is having a fine offensive series. He, of course, is having a little difficulty with Julius Irving, but he's been playing excellent on offense for the Blazers, shooting over 50%.
Walton keying the defense. Going over to the right on that double team. He's left his man completely. Bibby shoots it outside. Walton yanks down, still another rebound. Collins goes left to Lucas. McGinnis back on defense. Walton makes the signal. Bibby chases the ball, ties Davis up, jump ball.
Good hustle by Henry Bibby. He's trying to do...
Jones waits. McGinnis has cut off Lucas. Here's Bibby. Philly at the perimeter. The doctor in. You can see Walton switch over. Davis on the steal. Davis goes to Hollins, who breaks free on the other side. And the quickness of the Portland guards creating havoc for Philadelphia here in each of the last 2 games and early as Collins comes back. Gross comes top of the screen, and Walton rolled off the pick beautifully. That's the first time we've seen him go off a roll like that.
That's right, and Bobby usually looks for that shot, but he had 2 men jump on him. Bill wisely rolled to the basket. That's just good, intelligent basketball right there, the old pick-and-roll play.
Walton yelling out defensive signals. He's the key man in the middle. He is so loose on Caldwell Jones. He's double-teaming the ball completely now on defense. Lucas is back on the left side. Here's McGinnis traveling against Hollins on the turnover. Here comes each of the first 4 games. Collins wants it to go right to the doctor. Walton yells out an instruction. Jones. Irving up on Gross. Gross came with him. Count it and bring the doctor to the line. Awesome forces in the middle. So let's keep an eye on that now. It is 8-7. Blazers ahead of the 76ers by a point. Gross came off. Walton rolling again. And there it is. Twice he has rolled off the picks on offense. And as Rick Barry has pointed out, Miller's back in the middle. Here's McGinnis. Misses outside, and Lucas. Outlet to midcourt. Lucas and Walton will hit you right there with that outlet pass. Walton goes inside to Davis this time. Blazers regain it. Lucas gets the open shot. Gross battling underneath, stayed with it on the hustle.
There's Bobby Gross. Both teams a little ragged right now, Brent, with the turnovers.
4 for the Blazers. 1 for the 76ers. Collins, and Walton is there again. Look at him eye the ball and go to the man. Irving driving to the hoop, rolled it up and drew the foul from Walton. He is so quick and alert on defense, Rick.
Yes, he is. And at that time, the doctor put a real fine move on. He had a little bit of daylight, and if you give him a little daylight towards
Has
that bat,
been won by the team with the leading score only 4 times. So balanced scoring is what you search for. Gross up over Jones.
and that's exactly what Portland has. As Gross scores his 6th point of this basketball game.
A 5-point Portland lead. They have possession. Bibby goes out because Torczyk gave the dribble up. Walton nods. Lucas cuts right. Lucas is open.
That was bad defense that time by Doug Collins. After the move was made by Lucas to get open, Doug didn't see the ball, and he should
Has
have been able
6
to
in this
step in.
game.
Calhoun. Let's see how Philadelphia plays defense with this overhead shot if they clog that middle up as Portland tries to run their offense. Walton with the ball.
Calhoun at the perimeter is short. Collins got rebounding position. Lead now to Lloyd Free. Free off the Collins fly. Knocked away, and here come the Blazers. Torczyk busts open.
Portland again establishing themselves, playing their type of a game. They're getting many opportunities.
Free had a hand on it. Mix, who came in the game, runs it down in the corner now for Gene Shue. Here's the doctor. Double team, gave it up to Steve Mix. Mismatch against Davis, comes up over the top.
Jack Ramsey would like a timeout. He doesn't like the way things are going out there. He wants to sit down with his ball club, try to get them to establish themselves again. They've got the lead as you take a look at Bobby Gross.
Them six, get it up by 14. Ramsey yelling, pick it up. And Torczyk goes one-on-one and gets it across. Neal checking his right shoulder for the cutter. Lucas comes around him. Neal pushed out of the roll by Dawkins. Lucas goes up, jump shot. And no question, Rick Barry, that Jack Ramsey has put in the pick and roll for this game. We haven't seen.
Terrible mismatch that time. Lucas 6'9", free, only 6'2".
Irving, a right perimeter shot. Dr. J with 8 points. 24-17. Right side, Lyle Hollins. Lucas will come into your picture. 5-on-5. Irving sandwiching Neal. Free had collided with Hollins, and the foul is against Lloyd. Free is off to the left. Calhoun looks. Hollins in the middle, keys it. Lucas was breaking. Hollins kept the ball that time. Missed his shot. Dawkins, one-hand outlet. Free, it's 2-on-1. Mix is open.
That's what the Sixers have to do more of if they expect to win this ball game. They haven't done much of it in the last 2 games, but they executed beautifully that time with Dawkins keying it on the boards.
Frantic fan across the way on both knees. 76ers down by 5. Working on defense. Irving matched against Lucas. Lucas taller. Lucas jumps up over him, and the whistle had blown. Offense against Maurice Lucas. His William. 9:05 left to the end of the half. Irving on steal. Dawkins matched against Walton, and Henry Bibby will check back in. Left baseline, outside shot, steal. And Walton was there, and then Irving went up, and here's Walton back in as Herm Gilliam stayed with it.
Julius made a great play, just lost control of the ball. A bad break for the Sixers, a lucky one for Portland.
He doesn't have the ball to make sure he doesn't come flying at him looking for that daylight. Walton now backing up into Jones. Jones has gone to the muscle on him. Walton dumps it to steal. Jones, outlet for Collins, who tapped it to Bibby. 3-on-2's the doctor.
Big play for Philadelphia. Herm Gilliam asking the official, thought it could have been a backcourt violation as Collins tapped the ball backwards over the half-court line.
Rick, the first fast break basket of this game for Philadelphia. And that 3-on-2 sequence. Lucas up over the top of Irving. Bounce back down through. 32-23. 5:47. And Rick has told you how important these minutes are. And at halftime, you'll relive some important moments from Boston against Phoenix, last year's 5th game. Collins flies to the basket. Lost it. Goes to Portland. 9 points for Lucas. Excluding Collins and Irving, the 76ers are 3 of 20 or 15% from the field in this game so far. McGinnis looks in. Left to the doctor, who comes up on Hollins. 5-point difference. 4:10 left first half. Hit by Jones away from Neal. Walton is out right now, remember. Davis comes up with a jumper on Collins. Bibby pressuring the left side, comes over to the right, and the doctor. Gross will take him. Gross with 3 fouls. Irving hits from the other side.
Philadelphia doing what they must do. They're whittling away at that lead. Try to get it down, get within range, and they certainly are within that right now. 3:33 to go.
And it is the magnificence of one Mr. Dr. J, Julius Irving, that is getting them there. Bibby goes with Hollins. Hollins wants it. Foul underneath. Loose ball foul. It's as they are for Gene Shue. That jump hook. McGinnis rebounding. That's what he has to do if he's not going to score. Irving, Walton is there. Irving tosses up and Lucas at the other side off to Hollins. 2-on-2, 3-on-3. Gross with the short jump shot.
So Bobby Gross, who got them off to a good start, comes in to hit a big basket for Portland as they get the lead back up to 5 points.
That's 10 points for Gross, Rick, with 2:27 left in the first half. A report on the Kemper Open. Lob for the doctor from Collins. Swung it left-handed. Stayed with it. A 3-point lead by the Blazers. Davis pushes to Lucas. Lucas comes up on McGinnis. You can see the height advantage that he has against George McGinnis. You wouldn't realize that when you talk about the two.
When the game gets close, Maurice Lucas usually does some big things for Portland.
McGinnis has turned it over. Here comes Davis. Back to Lucas. Crashed in on Caldwell Jones, who fouled him. 2 fouls.
Pressure situation.
Basically, in the pressure situations, I like to have the ball basically closest possible to the basket. Whereas I can take my man and probably turn around and just shoot right over him or right in his face or whatever.
Portland traded Jeff Petrie and Steve Hawes to Atlanta for the choice in the ABA dispersal draft, which brought them Maurice Lucas. He was the second choice of that draft, and outside of the coin flip, which was won by Portland when they flipped for Bill Walton, that was probably the most important day in the history of the franchise. Walton and Lucas, 2 tough men to play against, and they're two-way players, offensive and defensive. Bibby left alone. Davis flies at him. Walton is there, yanks it free. Looks outlet, it's Maurice Lucas. Nicks back, and Lucas comes up over the top. Jones off for Philly. 128, 43-37, it's Portland. Collins maneuvers, traveled. Very important. He was magnificent outside in that game. Twardzik with Collins on him. Twardzik so bright, waited for Hollins to cut off as he was looking outside. Loose ball, Bibby. Robin Jones hustles back as Walton is off on Jack Ramsey's bench right now as we close out the first half. Irving waited in the air until Collins got underneath.
Just a great play by Julius Irving. Tremendous hang time. Way to look over the defense, see what was there.
2-point game. Bibby popped out on Hollins, and Bibby picked up possession. Jones outlet off to Bibby. Bibby comes down on Robin Jones and breaks open. And he is shooting in tough luck just like McGinnis.
Portland should hold it up now, Brent. Wait for the last shot. Dave Twardzik wisely does. He pulls it out.
Hollins looking for it. In off of Robin Jones' hands. Loose ball on the floor. Calhoun and Bibby will jump it at 6 seconds left.
I don't believe that anybody knew how much time was left in this quarter.
I'll bet Dave Twardzik did.
6 seconds to go. They should have worked it around, get that last shot, not give Philadelphia a chance to get their hands on the ball.
Rick, we've been talking about Bibby. He's 0 for 7, and you said he came into this game shooting but 26% so far in this series.
He's certainly having his difficulty, but I think that Philadelphia is really hung tough in there. They did what they had to do. They've come back from a big deficit. This is going to be some basketball game in the second half, Brent.
Tap off to Lucas, who came right out. 3 seconds. Bibby with time running out. The end of the first half. Collins picks up Davis. Walton is out high. Jones on him. Walton at the top of the circle. Hits the first shot of the second half.
And immediately, Portland doing what they did in the first quarter, trying to establish themselves early, get that lead back, make the Sixers play catch-up ball. The Sixers in good position.
Steal, Davis knocked it away, goes over, and on the left-handed shot, Gross came to the basket and hit it. So they score the first 2 hoops here of the second half.
And Gene Shue, Brent, immediately wants a timeout to try and regroup his team. And they've done the same thing they did in the last 3 ball games. They've fallen behind early in the first and third quarters, and they're making their job that much more difficult. And with their poor shooting, only 28.9% in the first half, they really...
How important is winning the 5th game? Only 3 teams have won the NBA title after trailing 3 games to 2. In 55, Syracuse. In 62, Boston. In 68, Boston. As Irving went up and turned around, retrieves it with hustle underneath, and McGinnis fouled as he was coming up. 49-42, 11:08 left, third quarter of game number 5. Game number 6 will tip off at 3 p.m. Sunday, New York time. McGinnis with Lucas. Knocked away, Lucas still in, gives it to Davis. Davis maneuvering. They miss at the perimeter that time. Opportunity for Philadelphia. Irving to Collins, who is alone inside. Irving saw him all the way. Little sucker play, brought a man out, and then went to Doug. Philadelphia going to more of a pressure defense here, particularly against Collins, Lucas, and Walton. Lucas on the middle. Irving with the ball off to McGinnis. McGinnis over to Doug Collins. Irving runs it down in the corner. Swings up, missed, came back in on Walton, and the loose ball foul is called on Julius Irving. 41-44. 7-point Blazer lead. 10 minutes left. Third quarter. Spectrum in Philadelphia. Lucas is there with McGinnis. Walton has a hand on Jones as he watches the ball. Here's Collins' fly pass. Walton had switched off on him, and again it was Bill Walton. Long passes to Johnny Davis, who slides to the basket. Steve Mix will check in for Gene Shue. He is up off the 76er bench. Davis tried to steal. Irving retains control and hit McGinnis with as pretty a bounce pass as you'll see. McGinnis wanted to foul off of the shot.
And George McGinnis just yelled to Gene Shue, "Don't take me out." And Steve Mix is going back to the bench right now. I don't know if he's still going to go in.
McGinnis may feel it finally coming on. Gross and Jones had switched over, and Caldwell fouled him.
3 team
Steve
fouls now
Mix.
on the Sixers with 9:13 to go. Could be a factor.
Bibby goes with Hollins, double team. Now Bibby's got to switch off on Bill. Walton wants it, but they're on the other side with the attack. It's Davis outside.
I think he thought the shot clock was running down. He had plenty of time, Brent. Not a good shot.
Bibby takes it outside and hits the field goal. So Bibby 0 of 8 in the first half, 1 of 9, 53-48. 8:40 left in the third. Lucas muscling in to McGinnis, and McGinnis fouled
When
him.
you're playing defense on the weak side, you must try to beat your man to the spot. If you allow a man like Lucas to get low position, you have trouble.
Turnover. Bibby. Hollins had cut him off, and Walton was right there behind him, almost tied him up. McGinnis one-handed. Oh, he's hit his last 2. Spectrum is up on that note. McGinnis, remember, shook off the substitute. Lucas back up over George. He's off. Collins comes out on the dribble. Walton is there. McGinnis drives to the basket.
And he's fouled, Brent. Chance for a 3-point play. And there's going to be a timeout by Jack Ramsey. As you see Collins come in, make the nice bounce pass to McGinnis. McGinnis goes up to the basket, foul from behind by Davis. Chance for a 3-point play. Here's another angle on it. George coming in. There's the foul. Lays it up, and George McGinnis may have found himself.
The Lakers defeated the Knicks in 72. And in your series, Rick, Jamal Wilkes shot only 32% when you routed the Bullets. Walton up on Jones off iron. Irving out. Philly can go ahead. Irving regains it. It's 50-52 in the Doctor. Hit off of Collins. It'll go to Portland.
McGinnis has scored 7 of the last 11 points for Philadelphia, bringing them within 1 point after they trailed by 8 in the early moments of the third quarter.
7:42 left in the third. Portland up by 1 point. The sandwich defense against Walton. Gross turns around on Irving. It's 3.
Can't give him that type of a shot. He's too good a shooter from 12 feet and in.
55-52. Game 6 of this series. Sunday afternoon on CBS. High noon time out in Portland. McGinnis back up very short. Lucas was there off the towards it, who pushes for Gross. And Davis gliding inside. Hit the field goal and was fouled. Caldwell Jones was the man who fouled it.
With even one assist. 5 team fouls also now on Philadelphia, Brent, and only 2 on Portland. A big factor in this game with 7 minutes to go.
And Portland ahead, Rick, by 6 points, 58-52. Gross working against the doctor. Here they go. Walton comes over. Outlet for Gross. Davis. Walton will be the last man down. Not down. Twardzik alone inside.
Great pass by Bob Gross. Excellent movement without the ball by Dave Twardzik, who we mentioned earlier is a very smart player for this team and does so many things for them.
They broke Twardzik free without Walton that time. It was 4 against 5 defensive players.
And it's back up to 8 points, Brent.
Walton comes over, and it is Daryl Dawkins who got in behind Bill. As soon as Walton left him, Dawkins began creeping to the basket that time. Dawkins now takes Walton on defense. Walton, the man in the middle. Lucas went for the pass. He thought Gross was going to shoot left right.
Jack Ramsey in the lower part of your screen calling out the number 4 play. So let's see what the number 4 play is for Portland out of bounds.
Walton asking for a little room. Goes to Lucas. Collins taking Lucas and knocked it away with his right hand and ran it down on the steal. Collins picked him clean. Irving roaming, goes to Bibby.
Dave Twardzik laying on the floor, called for the block.
62-56. 6-point difference. 5:42. Portland with 3 team fouls, as Rick has pointed out, a difference. Dawkins out the screen. Bibby came around him and shoots moving. That's how Bibby shoots many of his shots, moving left to right on the move. It's a tough shot. Gross comes right back down over Dawkins.
Bobby
Good
Gross, again shooting from the outside, over 50% in all of the playoff series thus far for Portland.
Bibby forced out by Davis. Walton has Dawkins. Collins deep in the left corner. Battle, and McGinnis was there along with Lucas. It's against McGinnis, his 4th.
And again, Brent, to the free throw line, the Portland Blazers will go.
Julius Irving discussing strategy.
So in the first half, it was Philadelphia who won the free throw battle. They scored 15-9 for Portland. In the second half, Maurice Lucas getting up there, getting set. It's like Portland is taking advantage of it.
Caldwell Jones. Gross is over on Lloyd Free. Mix is in behind Lucas. Dawkins is there. Walton seals him up. Lucas wanted the outlet. He wanted Twardzik, and Free was in his way. Double turnover, lead to Davis, who had this time busted Free, and Dawkins there and fouled him.
And the man who made that play, Brett, was Dave Twardzik, the man who made the play. He came from behind and knocked the ball away from Lloyd Free.
9-point lead. Lucas getting a breather. The other end. Davis pushes it to 10, 68-58, 4:39. Mix sends Free down. Dawkins comes up after the free throw. Free and Collins both in deep. Now Collins comes out. Here's Free over to Collins. Doug takes it back on the move, going to his left. Back to 8. 4 minutes and 21 seconds left, third quarter. Davis cut off Collins. Walton over to the ball side. It'll be Lucas looking. Goes to Davis. Davis with that great quickness, turnaround on Collins. Walton keeps it alive, and there is that offensive rebound. It has been so significant in this series.
He has such a great knack for the ball.
Steal by Gross. Back to Twardzik, cutting in. Turned it over to Lloyd Free. Free glides in and gives it to Collins, who charges up into Walton. On the miss, Lucas outlet to Davis. Twardzik's ahead of him. Twardzik comes down on Dawkins. Wanted the foul. He came all the way through before he shot. He could have gone for the easy field goal from the right side. He went for the foul and the shot from underneath on the reverse. 12-point Portland lead right now in Game 5. Irving up on Lucas. Free regained it. Loose ball. Foul is the call, however.
Okay, anytime. When I come into a game, I try to do one of two things. If we're running and it's not working, I try to cut it down and run pattern offense. If the pattern offense isn't working, I try to pick up the tempo by running a fast break.
That was good direction that time. I heard your anytime loud and clear, Art Berry.
Well, thank you very much.
Twardzik gets the free throw. 3:25 left in the third. We've got a timeout. The situation, of course, is that Philadelphia won the first 2 games of the series here on the Spectrum. Then the scene shifted west, and Portland won the next 2. And here in Game 5, they are in command, leading by 13 with 3:25 to go. Philadelphia with the ball, and already Bill Walton has yanked down 19 rebounds in this 5th game. He was averaging 16.8, and Julius handling the ball.
And he only has 2 points so far in this quarter, Brent.
Dawkins, Walton giving him a lot of room over on the double, watching Irving carefully, not giving him an open lane, sealed off the other side. Mix comes inside. Neal challenges off to Davis. Walton with a hand on the ball, slowing down now. He's going to play some defense as Neal comes in for an easy layup.
Same thing in the first half, Brent. They don't know
Gross
where
steals
he
it,
is.
takes it away from Irving. Gross comes in, hit it and drew the foul, and that 2-basket sequence has brought the Portland bench alive. They are all up.
Let's watch this play again. Heads up ball on Portland's part. Philadelphia with big breakdowns defensively, hurting them badly. Look at Darryl Dawkins casually flipping the ball in. Didn't look where he's throwing it. Gross picks it up, goes in. Dawkins turns his hip, picks up the foul, makes 2 mistakes on 1 play. Let's see what Bobby Gross has to say about how he tries to defend Julius Irving. He's done a good job in the second half.
Okay, basically what I try to do, I try to deny him the ball, and then when he does get the ball, I try to push him to other teammates on the court. That's basically all I try to do with him.
And one of those other teammates has been Big Bill Walton. And watch now how they'll try to close off the Doctor here in Game 5 in a big lead. Walton watching every move. Walton there with him. Walton helping out Gross. And the double team so effective that time. Twardzik in the middle goes to Neal. Walton's hanging back to play defense. Shades of Bill Russell right now. Walton is back here to my left. Mix bringing it up. 2:24. 78-60. Critical moments right now for Philly. Free squeezes one on Twardzik. And he pushed off on Twardzik. The foul is on Free.
That's a good call by Earl Strom. Lloyd Free went up for the jump shot. And you saw Strom make the motion there with the left arm.
For the Philadelphia owner, Fitz Dixon, who brought Julius Irving to this team prior to the start of the season. And the head of the Portland Trail Blazers watching here, Larry Weinberg. He is the president of this organization. I also have seen Herman Sarkowski, Harry Glickman, and Stu Inman, who are the men who put these players together.
Look how far out the Philadelphia offense is, Brent.
Bibby. Julius had rubbed off the man. Missed shot, came up high. It'll go over to Portland up off the top.
They're not doing anything right now. They're not executing their offense. They're having defensive breakdowns. As you pointed out, in the shades of the 2 games back in Portland. George McGinnis getting set to come back in.
19-point difference right now. A little too high for Walton. Jones retrieves it. Did you see pesky Twardzik back there? Here's Bibby. Neal had cut him off. Free up on Walton, who's right there with his right hand. And Bill Walton goes down to feel that left knee. I think he's fine. He is. Gross coming inside. Bibby with a hand on it. And then it was the Doctor. And Walton's just staying back to play some defense. Mix.
Good fake by Mix. He got Bill committed that time and caught him on his upward flight and went by him when he came down.
1:15 left in the third. Portland has called a timeout. And I sense some unhappiness here in the Spectrum with the performance of the Philadelphia 76ers against the Portland Trail Blazers. Tomorrow on the Sports Spectacular.
Brent Bill Walton pointed to his left knee. I think he wants a hot pack or an ice pack for it. There's a hot pack for it. He wants it on there. You pointed it out. He seemed to twist that a little bit.
Lucas, you heard Ramsey call the play. Gross pops out. Worked beautifully. Gross hit it just like Ramsey diagrammed it. 81-62 inside of a minute. Julius threw one up inside.
And that is only...
Gross with 4, Lucas with 3, Walton with 3, Gilliam with 3. For the 76ers, McGinnis with 4, Jones with 4, Dawkins with...
He had 20 at the half.
81-64. Last 50 seconds of the third quarter. 76ers go to the full court pressure. Hollins took the pass. Neal is to his left. Hollins will take the shot.
That'll happen if you are smart against full court pressure. You move the ball to the open man, you're going to get easy shots.
Bibby maneuvers inside. Lucas jumped out at him, and Bibby hit it. 83-66, last 30 seconds. Twardzik giving it the Old Dominion hustle underneath the basket that time. He doesn't quit, does he?
He sure doesn't. And that was a break for the Sixers. He had a layup there and wasn't able to make the reverse on it.
Irving jumped past to McGinnis. Did not hit the layup, didn't draw the foul. Twardzik with control, goes to Hollins.
He is playing some basketball game. I just can't say enough about that little fella. He has really impressed me in the last 3 basketball games.
Irving's pass was off of Hollins on the turnover. Lucas looks for the open man at the buzzer. Well, the Philadelphia 76ers have got their work cut out for them in the Spectrum right now. 12 minutes left. They trail Portland 85-66. And for Game 6, they must go back to the Portland Coliseum.
Something going quick if they hope to get back and win this basketball game, Brent.
Irving on Calhoun, jump pass. McGinnis hits it to Bibby. Bibby. They can run a string, they can jump back. I remember a Sunday game in here when they did it to Cleveland, but they're going to need a string. 87-69. 9 minutes and 20 seconds left for the game. Calhoun holding on to Irving. Bibby up on Davis. Davis in a foot race, Freeze back with him. Davis will... No, yes, it'll go in.
You don't do that if you're a smart player. You should take the ball to the glass. It's a lot easier to make it off the board than go over the front rim. So many times you see players miss it when they try to do that.
Here's Free, and Walton there on him. Offensive foul is the call that time.
Bill Walton has been such an intimidating factor in there. Has been just awesome here this evening.
20-point Portland lead right now. In Game 6 on their floor, Sunday afternoon. Hollins up on Irving. Battle for the loose ball. Walton with a hand on it to Hollins. Hollins glides inside to the glass.
And the Sixers are in big trouble, Brett. Gene Shue wants another timeout. They have not played good basketball now in 3 basketball games. The Portland Trail Blazers have really come back and showed some poise and some guts and showed what they're really made of after losing those first 2 games here. The second one badly. They've come back to establish themselves and say, fellas, you're going to have to play a lot better than this to beat us, to carry it over the water. And that's the company's assignment, is trying to get you to get a ride someplace.
Bryant came up, hit the basket. This Calhoun and Walton. Collins, Irving, Bryant, Bibby, and Jones. So Irving with the field goal, rushed over on Hollins. Walton protesting he was fouled underneath.
If need be, just send the man off a bill for a jump shot with a couple seconds to go. But they should tenacious defense, otherwise Philadelphia can be very explosive.
Bill Walton has played as fine a defensive game at center as I've seen in a long time, and it started right from the opening tap. Bryant to Collins. Coming in on the left side. Hollins fouls him, where Lucas is sitting right now. Here's Collins. He scores, and he'll come to the line and shoot. Chance for
Philadelphia was in the bonus. It's 5-3 in team fouls. Can Philadelphia capitalize and do what Portland did, though, in the third quarter?
Pass to Calhoun right there at the midcourt line. So many times with that outlet pass from a rebound, Walton will nail a man right there at the corner. After 2 years of frustrating injuries, the redhead.
First foul by Caldwell Jones, but he didn't get it. He had to get fouled twice to get 1 foul called against him.
Of course, the one game I mentioned that he still needs is Game 6 to win the championship Sunday afternoon. 3 p.m. Eastern Time on CBS. Off of Bryant's foot, Gross retrieves. Glides good back as they're using the clock. Shot clock went down to 5. Hollins.
He had plenty of time. He thought the clock was running down. He took a bomber from way out there, and when things are going right, that's what happens.
That's Lloyd Free's spot here in the Spectrum. 7-10, 94-76. Muhammad Ali on the CBS Sports Spectacular tomorrow in a foot race. Walton was out there with a hand up on Collins. Outlet Walton to Davis. Calhoun breaking on the right wing. Bibby there with Davis. Offensive foul as he tried to. 6 minutes and 53 seconds left in Game 5. Portland will go home on a chartered plane immediately after this game. Practice tomorrow. Game 6 on Sunday. Irving not quitting. 6:39. Here comes Philadelphia. Foul as Irving broke free into Hollins, and Lionel fouled
That's what he
him.
has to do now. Usually, as you said in his little insert that we had there, if the team's running a little bit too much, I come in.
Pressure, and he stepped over. He's turned it over. He stepped over the line. Strom was right there. 94-80. 14-point difference was 6:34 tonight in the Spectrum. So he's getting some help. Here's Collins, and he got Hollins to come right into him. He would have counted if he'd have hit it. He'd come up to
People
the
who got up left early may have wished they stayed because
enthusiasm right now. Crowds in Portland were much more confident, much noisier when the crunch came. Dvorak. Pressure as Shu watches. Dvorak across. They're double teaming the ball. Turn it over. Here they come. Joe Bryant with Julius Irving, Caldwell Jones, Henry Bibby, and Doug Collins. Collins goes with Collins. Dougie backs him in. Here's Bryant. Off to Collins, who shoots it outside. 94-84. It's a 5-basket difference. 6 minutes and 4 seconds. They trap the ball. Walton in the middle. Off to Gross, who's free.
that's a big basket, Brent.
Because of foul trouble, couldn't come over with too much muscle that time.
Big basket there.
Now it's Collins pumping again from the other side. Julius flying up, and Lucas knocked it out. It'll go to Philadelphia.
With this pressure,
Jammed up, work a play. It's Collins. Waited. Bryant ducked under, missed it. Jones will give him another chance. Dougie wants it all the way, and Irving underneath scored and drew the foul from Gross. Now we've got some emotion stirring in the Spectrum.
9. A lot of time to go. 5:37.
5 fouls on Gross. There's the 9-point difference at 5:37. Pressure in the backcourt. Gross off to Walton in the middle. Walton puts it down. Bryant is back there. Dvorak goes to Gross, who's been free. The doctor came flying at him. The doctor ties up Gross. Foul is called. Dr. Jack sees 5 minutes and 26 seconds to go.
Get to the line and get an extra shot. To me, that's a bonus.
98-87, 5:24. Bibby in deep on the left side, went to the glass. This streak is as well as Philadelphia has played at any time, and this the 5th game. Gross across the midcourt.
Boy, that was a bad pass by Bobby Gross, and they're just lucky that somebody in Philadelphia kicked that ball. That ball is intercepted.
Off the doctor's foot, so Portland got it back. Irving out on Gross. Lucas. Caldwell Jones has him. Lucas comes up on Jones. At the other side, Gross and Joe Bryant had gone high in the air. Loose ball.
All right, here we take a look at
Excellent acting by Bryant with an 8-point, make it still 8. Lucas off. 98-90. 4 minutes and 51 seconds left in the Spectrum. This, the pivotal game. Number 5, knocked away by Irving. And Bibby and Hollins tied up, and it was Julius who came around and slapped it free.
This pressure the Sixers are putting on affect them adversely, to say the least.
Bryant goes with Lucas. Jones has Walton. Collins is with Dvorak. Bibby is on Hollins. Irving with Calhoun. Here's Walton. Hollins cuts around him and comes up with a left-handed jump shot. Hit by Bill. Bryant pulls it down. Outlet for Irving. Joe Bryant has given him a spark. Irving to the basket. The doctor came through. 98-92. 4:13. Pressure suddenly on the Trailblazers, who have played magnificently until the last couple of minutes. Bryant helping out, double teaming on Walton, but I think he may have fouled him backing into him. Yes, he did. 6-point game, and game number 5 heads down toward another one of those endings. Bill hits the free throw, 7 points.
And so this team, when Julius Erving came back in, they made one change only, has ignited.
It has been Erving and Bryant operating at forward. Borchik has Bibby out far from the basket. Here's Erving and Calhoun on him. Julius with that jump lob pass got through to Joe Bryant, who came up, and Walton was right there, and there's a foul.
He was all on top of that basketball with his hand. It's just so unpredictable.
7-point difference, 3:47. I was all set to close the lid shut on this one. I thought for sure Portland had it the way they played. Hollins with Bibby on him. Billy came around and fouled him, and Bibby's so unhappy.
Been the right hand on Lionel's side, because he certainly didn't foul him with the left hand.
Gross out with 25. Jones off. 101-94. Here's Bryant. Collins the lead man. Bryant jump shot is there.
Portland is not making them set up and use up the time. They're getting quick baskets all the time, Philadelphia. And that's why they're getting back in the game.
And when it gets racehorse, that's what Philly wants. And you can see where Portland is, far away from the basket. Bibby has Lucas in a mismatch, and Maurice wants him. Collins went over in the double team, and Maurice stayed right with it. Key basket, very patient that time.
There's the man who said he likes the pressure situations.
He had one, and he hit it. It's a 7-point Portland lead. Walton is there with the doctor. Here's Joe Bryant again on Lucas. A little too much spin, pop back out. Hollins on the middle. 2:47, 103-96. 7-point difference.
Wisely, they're using the clock.
Walton out high, shot clock down to 5 when Hollins squeezed the trigger. Erving off to Bibby. They can pull to within 5. There's Lucas with a good defensive play. Erving was breaking down the middle. Out high to Collins. Here's Erving. Calhoun is with him. Erving lost control. They wanted Lucas on the break pass. Bryant will retrieve for Philly. Bryant will bring it back. Over to Bibby. Collins comes in, and Walton's got him, and so here's Bibby all alone. Not there. Bryant tapped it up. Collins comes in on Walton. Here's Borchik. 103-96. 2 minutes. Borchik off to Lucas. Off to Hollins. Pretty pass. So Lucas hit a clutch field goal and a big assist. 105-96 right now. 155.
That was a big series, Brent, right there. Philadelphia still is their biggest ally.
Philly will move quickly. Bryant waits. Lucas is there. Lucas switches to Collins. Walton is there. Jones saved it. Collins forces back to Bibby. Bibby hit it outside. 135 and 7 points.
18 seconds they used that time to score.
This is what Ramsey told them in Portland's huddle. Patient, use the clock, which is what they're doing. Bibby falls underneath, now he's back. Collins will take the jump shot. And Philly now can make it a 5-point game if they can score. A minute 9. Collins flying toward the basket, goes down in a heap, makes it 5. Pressure in the backcourt. Terry Furlow being told by Earl Strom to go back to the bench and sit down. 106, 5 points.
Boy, that pass was dangerous, Brent.
Here's Borchik. Back to Hollins. The shot clock winds down toward 10.
They do not have to shoot to win the game in their next 2 possessions.
Borchik went in on the drive and it spun out, but he was fouled. 105-100 with Borchik shooting.
3 games to 2.
Timeout is called. About 3 or 4 minutes, Rick throwing his body around with reckless abandon inside.
Unfortunately, they needed to be doing that a lot sooner in this ball game. They waited a little bit too late, and it's the old syndrome of trying to get back up the hill when you fall behind. You seem to get close, but you just can't quite make it over the top.
Darryl Dawkins, the young center of the 76ers, wondering what went wrong after they won the first 2, and Robin Jones at the other end saying, "We told you so." 6-point lob to the doctor, knocked away, out of bounds. It'll go to Portland. 51 seconds left. Here's Twardzik off to Calhoun. Dunleavy over, foul.
Otherwise, the entire season is over for them. They need to win that one to get the home court advantage back.
Portland will be bubbling with confidence, though, won't they, when they get back to Portland?
Well, I would think so, Brent, but they must not get overconfident. They must come out and establish themselves just like they did in the last 3 basketball games. They come out and play the type of basketball they played against the Lakers and earlier in the playoffs, but they didn't play here the first 2 games.
Irving up over the top of Walton.
And I don't care what Jack Ramsey may say. I think that layoff really hurt the Blazers. They just weren't playing their game those first 2 basketball games, and now they're back on track, and Philadelphia's got to regroup.
You can see the clock wind down. It is celebrating time out in the town of Portland, believe me. It is all over here in Philadelphia. The Portland Trail Blazers knew when they came into this series that they had to win at least 1 game in Philadelphia.